Hey folks, my name is Pravus. Welcome back to more After Ink Revival as we continue with our Mega Brutal Guide series in the third campaign. And now it's time for Fool's Hope, and buckle in because I would say this is a scenario where most people will run into a wall. The early game is quite tough. If you can find your footing, it's not so bad, but that's the real trick to navigate. And actually, that's going to be the story for pretty much the rest of this campaign. The early game is always going to be tough, and the end game just gets tougher and tougher as things go on. So with this one, the bunker doors have ground open onto the shattered remains of the world. The survivors will do all they can to fortify their future. This sounds like a very generic introduction, until you realize that this scenario is an introduction to the fort building, which is a new upgrade for the outpost instead of the logistics hut. If you're gonna give me the economist, I'm gonna take the economist, all right? That's just, how could I possibly say no? All right, so we could go for 6 stamina savings right here, which is really good. 3 stamina here, 4 stamina, and 2 zombie defense. This could be really good on this scenario in particular because you'll get some early attacks and this could be really difficult to deal with. This might save your bacon. I'm going to try for the 6 stamina and pray that that is the right call, but if you are struggling, zombie defense, not a bad option. Let's go ahead and pull up the map. So we're kind of in this weird little pocket of the river right here with 2 bridges into our settlement. So that means that you'd think we are in a very good defensible position. The problem is, as you can see, there are zombies all over the place on this particular map, and if we step in the wrong area at the wrong time and we are not prepared, we're going to bring upon a storm that we are not ready to deal with, and the real trick is a way to avoid that. Also, I want to point out to the north, not only do you have your infestations, but you've got your infested borders, which means we're going to get attacked from the north pretty much for the entirety of this scenario. That's just how it's going to be. For our objectives, the first thing we need to do is kill 2 zombies, then kill 5 zombies. So that already gives you some idea how this scenario is going to work. Then we have to explore a marked area and establish an outpost. Then kill 10 zombies. So again, just sticking to the theme here. Then fortify said outpost, and that's going to be the fort that I was talking about. After that, we have to cleanse the 3 infestations to the north, and then claim 13 areas, though by the time that you have cleansed the 3 infested areas, you'll probably have 13 territories or thereabouts anyway, so it's not that bad. The real trick is just figuring out how to get around these zombies, tiptoe at the right time, and avoid the early assaults. If you can do that, you'll be fine. So I'm going to start by exploring over here to the west, because I do recommend moving in this direction for sure. You can move up here to the north, and I will use some explore discounts to get rid of this, but I'm going to show you what a normal build order looks like just in case you don't have the same starting traits. We want to move over this direction, then we want to explore up over here where we have a forest. This is your early expansion. There are 2 zombies here. If we claim this region, they will not become agitated right away. If we move a fighter here, then they will. So you want to be ready for that. Now, since I'm playing as the economist, I have a lot of stamina to work with, so we can go ahead and do our scavenge. I'm going to build up 2 wells, go for the food here, get the hunting lodge built up for free, because why the heck not? We want to get our basic services. I will get a fighter and then 2 tents right off the bat. All of that is what I'm going to go for. We have 14 stamina to rely on. Remember, as the economist, stamina regenerates very slowly, but it always comes in really, really big boosts. I'm not going to spend the food, as tempting as that is. It's just not wise to do right now. Now, one thing I don't know if I've ever pointed out in this game, these zombies right here, you notice how they have white outlines and dots on them? They're docile right now. They don't care that I'm here. They're going to leave me alone. But if you move the fighter, what you're going to see is they're going to turn black, like so. Now they're agitated and they're going to run in over here. It's a way of kind of reading the zombies and getting some sense of what to do with them or not to do with them in this particular case. Now, since we have the defense of the city nearby, I'm fine with this, right? We're okay with this. We'll just go ahead and draw them in. That's not a big deal. But under other circumstances, maybe I would have been more careful about moving in this direction. Now, the next thing to do is explore over here, even though we're not going to expand in this direction, and I'll explain why in just a minute. What I want to do with the rest of my resources, I mean, we're looking okay as far as a lot of our early start. This is all looking fine here. We just need to claim a forest area, so we're just going to wait for a moment for this fight to be dealt with, which should be fine, and that's going to be the first 2 zombies done, so you're really supposed to go in this direction. Packs of infected linger in this region. We need to push them back. Yeah, you don't say. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull over here now with the fighter, and I'm going to taunt these zombies into us. That's the goal. Why? Well, because we're going to get attacked from the north constantly, and the problem is, as they are docile right now, if they hear an attack on our settlement, they'll become agitated. So even if 1 or 2 zombies come through here and attack and you think, hey, we're fine, suddenly 2 more reinforcements come in and that's how you lose the game. But if we can put our fighter in position, taunt them over here, deal with them before this charge comes in, then we can divide and conquer effectively, and that makes the game a lot easier, all right? You just gotta do that. We did claim this forest over here, so let's go ahead and get our lumberyard. That's gonna be free. Let's go ahead and get a firewood splitter, and I will get myself some tech research. We just know we're gonna need that by the time we get to population 3 anyway. So this is gonna be fine. Yeah, we have like 22 strength of zombies. Now it's better time to deal with them before they become 50 strength. All right, I've tried this before. If you don't deal with that, that's how you're going to lose the game. What else do we want to go for? I'm going to save some stamina for a little bit because once technology is done, I'd like to get a few upgrades to things like, let's say, some food generation. We're about to get a big boost of extra influence, I suppose, or I should say, sorry, stamina. I've been playing too many different games here. I'm mixing my resources up. Let's go and get the kitchen. Let's get things like upgrades there. Let's get an extra firewood splitter and the lumberyard, and we will probably need to go ahead and start doing a scavenge of some fuel now. Might as well. Apprenticeships. I love this event so much. Plant production is okay, but I'm not really relying on that too much. Right now I have hunting. There's going to be vegetables soon. I'd recommend almost always to go for exploration, just because it saves you so much stamina, and anything that saves you stamina at the beginning of the game is so gosh dang valuable. You should always be taking advantage of that. I love saving early game stamina. It's just great. We'll explore down over here because I do know there's some zombies in this forest. I do want to deal with them. I'm going to get my second fighter going over here. We can get ourselves, let's say, some improved housing. That's fine. I'm going to do another scavenge of wood since we seem to be struggling on that front. And I'm going to go ahead and do a scavenge of food as well, just preemptively. We are probably okay, but I'd like to just go ahead and make sure I have plenty to survive through the winter. Let's get some storage, though, because I do think I'm going to go a little bit overboard. Now, we have another 22 damage right here, some zombie strength. Imagine if these two had combined and it was 44. That would have overwhelmed my fighter, and we would have lost the game. All right? By about the time that you get your second fighter. Anyway, you can time it out. It really sucks. This is a much safer way to do things. So this is going to get explored in just a minute. We have some more zombies on the way. We can place down an outpost because I've already explored the area. Now, the thing is, I don't actually know where the area is that you have to explore. I'm pretty confident it's this city. Like, I'm 90% sure, but every time I've played this, I've explored enough that by the time that I get to the point where my mission is to explore a marked area, I instant complete it. So I'm 90% sure it's right here. I could be wrong, maybe it's one of the ones over here, but I'd be shocked. What the game wants me to do is claim this area and place down an outpost so we have a fort to defend against the infestations while I deal with the rest, which is kind of a cool idea. Let's go ahead and place this fighter over here. We should be able to deal with this. 13 versus 10, no big deal. That's dealt with. Good, thank you. Okay, so now this is free real estate down over here. No zombies will ever get to this area. We should always be able to expand. I love it. So we will want to go ahead and claim some of these areas. I'm going to wait until we have a bit more stamina to work with just to be safe. I'm going to swap out some fighters here. Let this guy go ahead and just sit tight. Actually, wait, he can't claim this territory until he's healed. So we might as well leave him in my territory. I was hoping to save some stamina, but I don't think we're going to get a chance to do that. Winter still has a ways to go. Let's go ahead and do 2 more scavenges. Let's build another well since I appear to be struggling on that. That's why we save some stamina as the economist. Never mess that up. We can afford to burn some of our wood to get some emergency fuel. That keeps things going. And I'm going to go ahead and explore the neighboring areas because I do want to claim this, but I'd also like to know what's around so I don't screw up and lose. We can claim both of these regions over here. This is a good opportunity to get myself 2 more firewood splitters, another lumberyard for cheap, and we can get ourselves the vegetable farm for when the winter does end. So we'll do all of that. And this is going to cost me only 1 stamina in order to claim this territory. So when we're ready to have our outpost, it really won't be that bad to do. And there's really no reason not to just go ahead and place the outpost immediately after picking this up. Yeah, there's zombies around. Yeah, they'll get agitated, but you get the extra combat bonus, which is pretty darn helpful. Why are people very angry right now? They want town squares very, very, very badly, apparently. Good lord, you guys are just so needy. All right. Send a little bit of help over here. Deal with that fire. It's fine. More zombies coming in right now. As soon as that's done, we will claim it. We have to deal with the fight first because you can't deal with this if you're actively being attacked. Have to have a safe path to get there. Now we can place down the outpost, and we'll move a fighter over in this direction. We'll probably antagonize some other zombies over here, this one right here, but then it's going to be clear territory around us for at least a little bit. So the next objective is to fortify the outpost. Now, we're not going to do this immediately, but if I click on this, you can see we have the logistics post, right? That's the whole thing where we boost up all of the neighboring areas' production, and this can be very, very good, but what we want is the fort specialization. This is going to turn it into a fort the exact same way that garrisons work in Rebel Inc. All neighboring territories get a very significant boost in fighter strength. Remember, the outpost only normally protects its own area, so projecting power around you can be very good. Now, it does kill any resources that were underneath it. So you might be tempted to place it right here so you get a really big, kind of a zone of control, but you'll lose the carrots. Now, maybe you don't care about that, but that's how that works. Gain some stamina, lose some stamina, explore discounts. Honestly, this is a good trade. 2 stamina for 4 explore discounts ultimately just gains me more stamina than I lose. So go ahead and explore that one basically for free. We'll explore this one basically for free. I don't know why this was instantaneous and this one wasn't. I feel like it shouldn't have been, but whatever, it's probably fine. And we'll explore this over here. I don't really care about this side of the river, if I'm honest. I'm probably not going to take advantage of this. We can, but we don't have to, not for a while. This area is all I care about, and if we can clear out these infestations, this is also going to be free real estate, eventually. So that's great. What else we want to do here? Well, I want to go for Tech 3, and go for 5 population. That's going to be my next goal here. Let's get the vegetable farm upgraded. Let's go for an upgrade to the lumber yard. Let's get a couple of storage upgrades for the fuel. And we'll also get a storage upgrade for the water, since that's another thing I found that I really need to have a buffer for. Sometimes that just comes back to bite me if I don't have enough water sitting around to deal with some fires. So it's always worth having a little bit extra. Also, we just know we want to have plenty of fuel by the time that winter does hit. Now at Tech 3, fighters have got their strength boost, which is pretty great. We can safely take this territory right here without antagonizing anything new, so we'll go ahead and place down that vegetable farm. Hunting Lodge is not a bad option, only because, hey, guess what? It is going to give you extra food during the winter. I'm going to focus on basic things like fuel. We can upgrade this outpost. I know I can. But I'm not worried about it right now. I'd rather just go ahead and actually try to I don't know, win. If we can get to 3 stamina, I'd love to do the improvise here. There's a very good chance we get some sort of a breakthrough. That can be a boost to things like your basic resource production or your morale, but since we are the economists, I'm not going to have a chance. I'm going to lose 4 authority. I think 31% chance to lose some basic resource production is a little bit too high for me. We're kind of stuck waiting right now. This is the joy of playing as the economist. Nothing we can do. We can't even upgrade this to a fort right now if I wanted to. Now, I do desperately need to get some more services going, so let's get the basic bathhouse. Let's get another kitchen. Let's get a tavern. And let's get, let's say, a fire pit. All that's fine. Now I'm going to come over here to the outpost, and we're going to go ahead and specialize. The game is kind enough to give you some stone to start with, which is great, so we'll do that. And then I'll go ahead and scavenge for some wood, because I'm pretty sure we're going to need that. And we're going to go ahead and build up some storage for our food by the time we get to winter, because I'd like to have a little bit more. So we just need to wait for a few more trees to get popped. In the meantime, our morale should be getting a little bit higher as time goes on. So we're not going to lose a population. We're okay. I really kind of let myself fluctuate a little bit too much, I think. Sometimes as I play this, it kind of makes me cringe a little bit looking back at my playthroughs like, holy crap, you were on the verge of death. But it works. I don't know what to tell you. Mega Brutal, you're always going to be on the edge of the knife. That's kind of how it ought to be, don't you think? All right, next objective, cleanse 3 infestations. Having 3 fighters will make your life a lot easier. For that, you really want to have 7 pops. That means you also want to have Tech 4, so you have enough services to actually deal with all of these people. Speaking of which, let's just go ahead and finish out these services. It's never a bad idea to get above 100% now. There was a time where I'm like, yeah, I'm at 60% morale. I don't need to worry about any more services. But now it's like, if I don't know what else to do, yeah, it's worth it, because the celebrations for the extra patience can make things easier for your score, and the extra stamina is pretty darn great, so why would I not? We could almost afford to do Tech 4, but I need some more food. Let's get that hunting launch. Let's get another vegetable farm. I'm going to go ahead and do a scavenge since we can. Maybe I can go ahead and start working on that technology just a little bit faster. I just want to make sure that we don't, put ourselves in a bad situation. For food, we'll be able to scavenge that up here pretty darn soon, so we should be able to get a couple of bubbles. My morale is going to dip down low a little bit, but as long as it doesn't go below 0, I don't really care. And we barely are going to get around that, it looks like, which is great. No, maybe not. Where's the bubbles? Gosh dang it. You're supposed to get bubbles more frequently than this. The game's taunting me. It's choosing not to give me any. There's a bubble. Good God. All right, whatever. We're fine. We're fine. So, We're going to go ahead and start working toward 7 population, get that next fighter. It's going to make things a lot easier for us. We're going to have so much production. I feel like just getting a lot of storage does make sense because that way I don't have to worry about food ever again come winter. And fuel-wise, we can get some storage, another charcoal pit, and we're good. All right. So with 7 population, obviously we're consuming a lot. I'm just kind of future-proofing now while we can, since we're going to be sitting around and waiting anyway. We do need to make sure we get some more wells, though. I often forget those, and it ends up becoming a problem. Need some more lumber, and then we can send some help. No exhaustion. That's fine. So if you want to start clearing this out now, you can. I'm going to move my guys here, actually, because drawing the zombies closer to the fort is not so bad. We're going to have 59 strength over here. Once these guys run in, that's going to trigger a wave from the other infestation. So it's kind of like doing a taunt. And if I need to pull back, I should be able to. Surprisingly, no, it did not actually draw them in. That's unexpected, but okay. Okay, we'll be fine. What else do we want to do? Let's get the makeshift carpenter. We should be able to take advantage of that. We can get a kitchen, blah, blah, blah. Sure, we have enough lumber production. What I really need is medicine. I can go for a swamp over here, but not until I've actually dealt with these, I don't think. There's my 7 pops, which means we can go for fighter number 3. Raising young, I usually go for the nursery. The extra authority tends to be worth it for just a couple of stamina. I don't think that's too bad. So that's fine. I'm going to hold on to the rest of my stamina, though. What else are we losing all of a sudden? Well, hang on. Let's see. Fighter healing speed is good. Why are we having huge issues? They want the nurseries. Yeah, if you get the nurseries event, you better be ready to build it pretty much instantly, or you get a huge drop in your morale. I don't know why. I feel like it's extra penalizing compared to other things, but there you go. Let's go ahead and taunt these guys. That may have been a mistake because it looks like we're going to get attacked at the exact same time. We still have barely enough strength to deal with this. At least until this next wave comes into play. So maybe not. We killed one over here. They're all coming over here. Pull back. Let them come to the fort. We'll reinforce here. That's 124 strength, which is a lot easier. And then I'm just going to go ahead and pop this fighter here. Now we have lots of reinforcements, and we're going to be fine. Okay. Losing hope. Why are you losing hope? Everything's going to be fine. When morale falls below 20%, we lose authority. I, again, fall into this too often, so this is a really risky play for me to do. I shouldn't do it, but I'm going to do it anyway. Just go ahead and get ourselves the extra services. Let's get some extra storage going so I don't have to worry about winter. Get some extra storage going here. Again, twice, so I don't have to worry about winter. And then as soon as I deal with these last rounds of zombies, I want to start clearing. Now, the timing of this is tricky because the northern borders just constantly are sending more and more stuff my way, as you may have noticed. So, like, finding a free moment to get in there and deal with it, a little bit harder than you might think. A little bit. Let's go for another scavenge of some wood over there. I was hoping, again, send help. I don't want to have my stamina pause. As the economist, I do find that that tends to be a little extra punishing. Pop a bubble. Not enough. We immediately use... No. Let me click on this. Thank you. There we go. Now I can send the help. And the charcoal pit was removed. Gosh dang it. All right, fine. It's fine. It's just annoying. Come in here faster, losers. Why are you all so slow? Let me kill you. And there we go. All right, pop in here. Pop in here, pop in here. We're going to deal with both of these infestations at the same time. One reinforcing. All of this should get cleared out pretty easy. They only spawn like, what, 10 strength each? So we'll deal with one. Then we will cleanse you, which is going to draw some more in here. But again, I'm not feeling too worried about it, especially if we clear this out, we get the reinforcements. Then we'll begin the cleanse here, which apparently, I think I timed this wrong. I thought the cleanse would be done here, but apparently not. Okay, cool. And now I want to deal with this. Now, the trick is timing this again with the infestation borders. So, zombie movement spotted. They're going to pop in here very, very soon. We can try to get in here and deal with this, but I don't think it's going to work. I think what I'd rather do is taunt these guys, since they do have 44 strength, into this area. And if these zombies income from the borders, which they are about to do, we should be okay. Let's go ahead and get some additional water a couple of times, since I know I'm having issues. Get that charcoal pit rebuilt. Get another hunting lodge. Don't have enough lumber. Never do, apparently. There we go. Let's go for... I'm actually not going to go for the... I'm going to go for this right here. Dang it, that was the wrong call. I was hoping these guys would not become aggressive. They are. So I want to get this swamp so I can get myself the healing huts. The healing huts are worth a shocking amount of morale. Like a lot of morale. I'm always surprised by it. This is a lot more strength than I was expecting. Pull back. We may actually have to pull all the way back to the fort. I'm going to do that. Let them come to me, because I'm going to have so much strength I can deal with this. This is a lot of zombies. Lots of zombies wandering around over here. Ignore that. All right, so now we can go for the herb garden. We can go for the small healing hut. And we can go for the nursery. I'm sitting on no stamina again, but that's fine. Yeah, 77 strength here. I have to fight them here. But I've got 215. So this is where the forts are great. And you can kind of imagine where this is going to become useful by the time that we do have to go to other maps, right? You can find a few different places where placing down a fort is going to change the game entirely, and throughout the rest of the campaign, that absolutely is going to be a thing. I'm going to claim that region there just so I can get myself some extra lumber and a couple extra charcoal pits, since they are going to be cheap. These zombies are really slow to come to me. I don't know why they're taking their time. Just go ahead and move forward over here. I still need to clear that out quickly because the impatience is kicking in. The extra fighter strength is good. Let's do it. More zombie movement has been spotted. This is what I'm saying, though. Like, the infestations here just constantly are annoying. Zombie movement spotted. They're going to attack me over here in a second. We can do a couple explorations over here just to try and make combat here easier when we do get to it. We could even try going around and drawing them over here, and that's not a bad idea if you're finding the timing of this extremely difficult to work with. But yeah, look at this. It's just constant zombie attacks. Constant, I tell you. Improved housing won't do me a whole lot of good. I really need to get to Tech 5. How are we doing on water? Should be doing fine on water, so I'm not sure how this keeps dropping. But all right, so this gets dealt with. More's coming in here. How much? 33? Okay, so I was going to charge in, but I don't want to fight 55 far away from my fort, so they're going to come in over here. Here comes another wave. Oh, my God. All right, tell you what. Now's the time to just go ahead and move in. We'll try to clear this group out. If it draws these guys out of here, so be it. This is just the hardest part right here, is like you have to find a way to deal with all these zombies. That's 77. I've got to pull back. They're going to split between two different forces. That's actually ideal because I should... Nope, I don't have enough strength to deal with them either. Oh my God. So annoying. All right, go for the next level of tech. Scavenge some wood. And then what? More fuel? Storage? Because reasons, I guess? I don't know. And then if we have enough strength here with 115, we're set. These guys finally got pulled back. So with that done, we can explore over here, move you here, move you here. And if we're really fast, we can cleanse this right now. Because I've lost a lot of my patience right now. Lots of authority getting lost here. But this isn't a lot of zombies yet. So if we deal with this quickly, we're good. Cleanse it. You could even consider pulling this guy back over here because zombies are about to spawn. But I'm going to leave him where he is just because it can distract them while I wait for this. There we go. We're done. All right, pull back. Pull back, pull back, pull back. We're done. All right. So with the infestations out of the way, what comes next? Claim 13 areas. All we have to do is claim 4 areas. We have a celebration because apparently I'm doing really well on that front. I'm just going to go ahead and claim whatever's like nearby and like cheap and relatively safe because nothing else matters. And I have so much stamina since I'm playing as the economist, we can finish this immediately, which ends the level and I get 4 stars. Was it a great score? No. It's a pretty tough level, but again, the real trick is just knowing where to expand. Expand to the west, deal with 2 zombies. Deal with the incoming waves in the cities in the north, then push into the south, then create a fortified barrier, and then get your 3rd fighter. Once you do that, it's just a matter of micromanagement, and if you can do that, you're going to be completely fine. So that's Towerfall out of the way. We are halfway through the 3rd campaign, and it only gets a lot harder from here. Thank you all for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If so, I would ask you to hit that like button, leave a comment, subscribe to the notify bell, and I will see you guys next time.